There's a specific hour that gets to people, not midnight, earlier, around 10 on a Tuesday night, when the day is done and you're lying on your couch with your phone above your face. Someone just announced their new business. Another account posted a 12-week transformation. A person you went to school with just finished their first marathon, and you feel something you don't quite have a name for. Not jealousy exactly, more like the quiet, persistent sense that everyone is moving and you are standing still. That feeling is lying to you, not because everything is going well. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but because the measurement you just used to judge your own life is almost entirely wrong. The people on that screen, broadcasting their progress, their momentum, their becoming, they may not be the ones moving fastest. Research suggests they might actually be slowing down. There is a specific type of person who barely shows up on your feed. They don't announce, no transformation posts. Their goal hasn't been mentioned to anyone in months. From the outside, they look like they've quit. Something is building in them anyway, quietly, and it has been building for a long time. By the time you notice the change, it will seem sudden. It won't be. Here is what all of it comes down to. The signs that someone is crushing their goals don't look like ambition. They look like nothing. NYU psychologist Peter Gollwitzer spent years studying the gap between intention and action. He found something that should make any person who has ever announced a goal uncomfortable. When people share their intentions and receive any recognition, a nod, a like, "that's so exciting," the brain registers a small but real sense of completion. The social reward of being seen as someone who is going to do something partially satisfies the same need that actually doing it would satisfy. The urgency drops. In one study, law students who told others they intended to become lawyers spent measurably less time studying in the weeks that followed than students who kept that intention private. The person who stopped talking about their novel 8 months ago, the one you assumed had quit, may have quietly figured out that talking about it was feeding the feeling of progress without creating any. Watch what this looks like in a real day. They wake up. No motivational ritual photographed for anyone. Just a half-drunk cup of coffee gone cold on the desk because they sat down to work before they finished it. Philippa Lally at University College London studied how long it actually takes a new behaviour to become automatic. The way you don't decide to brush your teeth, you just do it. The popular answer is 21 days. That number came from a plastic surgeon in 1960 watching patients adjust to new faces, nothing to do with behaviour change. Lally's data found the real average is 66 days. Some habits take over 8 months. Crucially, missing a single day had no statistically meaningful effect. The person who skipped yesterday and came back today wasn't starting over. They were still in it. The cold coffee. No one photographed it. Nothing to show. That is what 66 days in the middle looks like. Here is the private fear you may have never said out loud, that you've been doing this long enough to have seen results by now. The absence of visible progress feels like evidence the strategy is broken. Other people seem to be getting somewhere, and you are becoming someone who almost tried something. Angela Duckworth at the University of Pennsylvania found that grit, long-term perseverance matched to genuine passion, predicted achievement in every domain she tested better than raw talent or IQ. Grit doesn't look like anything. It looks like a person at a desk with cold coffee who came back the day after they didn't. Most people quit in the flat part of the compounding curve, compounding being that quiet snowball effect where small efforts build on each other, growing faster the longer they run. They call the flatness evidence of failure. It wasn't evidence of anything. That moment was the part of the graph just before the cliff. The small victory that doesn't feel like a victory yet is this. You showed up today when you didn't feel like it. You didn't post about it. Sat down, did the thing, left. That event left no record. It was everything. Gabriele Oettingen, a psychologist at NYU and the University of Hamburg, found something unsettling about positive visualization, picturing yourself having already achieved the goal. People who did this consistently achieved less. The brain responds to a vivid image of success, almost as if the success has partially occurred. In her research, the people who achieved most specifically imagined the obstacles between them and their goal, then built concrete plans for each one. Sitting somewhere writing down what could go wrong. That quiet person is doing harder, better goal work than the person filming their excitement. This is what it looks like from the inside. They have stopped performing the feeling of progress. Boredom becomes something they can sit with now, and boredom in practice often signals the brain is close to automaticity, not far from it. Elite performers report that sessions feeling repetitive and flat are often exactly where the skill is consolidating most. They know not to trust the feeling. Showing up anyway is the whole job. The intrusive thought sounds like this: I should be further along by now. That reframe, when you find it, is simpler than expected. You are exactly where someone looks when the change is actually happening. There is a quiet hope that lives beneath the fear. The accumulation is real. All those days when you did the thing without anyone watching, they are not lost. Those are, in fact, the only ones that count. 10 o'clock on a Tuesday night. A phone face down beside someone. Silent. No announcement pending. Just a half-drunk cup of coffee gone cold on the desk, and the knowledge that tomorrow, early, before anyone is watching, they will sit back down. That is what it looks like, always has been.